today is a big day because yesterday I finally was able to get all of the scales of the old paint, rust, etc. from this cabin roof using needle scaler actually, and it's very long work actually. A very slow process, but there is no other option for me, unfortunately. I cannot use sandblasting here and now. It's time to prepare the surface before painting. It's already has been some rust converter has been applied. As you can see, there is some loose rust which needs to be cleaned out, so let's start. I'm not saying the surface is perfect now, but it's still better than it was before. Now it's time to do some additional surface preparing. That time we'll be using it will be white spirit and an old rag in order to clean possible fats, residues from rust, etc. So probably we should start with this place here. It's quite a large surface area to work on actually, but it will evaporate quickly, and then I will be able to apply first coat of primer. The moment I have been waiting for, I believe, 2 months from now. Nothing works as fast as you expect when you are starting on boat repairs, especially if you have not seen the boat before you buy, which is exactly my case. So, well, the surface has been cleaned with white spirit. Let's wait a bit for it to dry out, and I hope it's not going to rain because the clouds look a bit suspicious today. So I really hope it's not that it will not be the case. But still, the roof looks way better than it was before. I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm not saying I'm doing everything right. Actually, I'm saying quite the opposite, because there are certainly things which I will be doing wrong. To learn from my mistakes, and you could have an option to learn from my mistakes before you do the same mistakes as well. For example, buying a steel boat without inspection. But yeah, we will see how it looks after first coat of primer, which will be in some time. Yeah, started to paint and having a bad luck today, because the feed rollers, the paint rollers are simply disintegrating because of this paint, and it's already the second roller actually. So here is the first one. I have no idea why, and this is certainly something I was not expecting. So I'll have to paint with a brush, I suppose. And one thing is for sure, with a brush things are moving at a much slower pace. I just hope this one does not disintegrate as well, but we will see. Well, it looks kind of rough, but because it's still first coat of primer, I think it will do, because I will be using a roller for next coat of primer, then a top coat, so basically it should be so smooth out, and if it will not be smooth I will use some bit of sanding. But yeah, the funny part, just when I thought that nothing else could go wrong, well, I was wrong, because actually it turns out I have bought two different colors of zinc-based primers. So if the first one was white, which is now over, the next one is black. Fun, isn't it? Well, and here is the result. It sure looks like a start of an artist's painting, but I kind of like the way it looks now. But still, it has protection in place. So when other coats will be applied, everything should be fine, except that now it looks really kind of interesting, I would say. Well, not all luck has been away from me. At least I found one roller which was still alive, so I was able to apply first layer of top coat, which is actually also an anti-rust primer, but I will be using it as a top coat as well, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that's not all, of course. Just when you paint everything, suddenly a storm appears from nowhere. And I hope I will not get those leaves flying onto my newly painted deck. Because actually I was planning to do, I bought a couple of greenhouses, and I was planning to make cover for the boat, but I still didn't have time, and since the weather was fine, I have not done it yet. And I really hope it will not start to rain, otherwise it will ruin everything. Meanwhile, I took a chance and painted the cabin doors and also hatches. So at least some kind of roof is back, but it still needs a lot of work. And I have not yet decided what to do with the decorative part. Will I put some wood on it or fiberglass? It's still a decision to make. But at least it has already some weather protection for now. So at least if it rains, I will not get swamped by rain. So that's it, I guess. And of course, you remember that perfect and spotless engine room from the first episode. We identified another problem. Thermostat housing had cracked, most likely because water was left inside it over the winter and it needed to be repaired. And well, instead of doing it in a normal way, I tried to repair it myself using TIG welding, which I have never ever done before. And before you ask, this is not some ancient relic, a moon rock, or some unidentified object. This is a thermostat housing, which is after my repairs, using like several kilograms of aluminium wires and 2 argon bottles. I think it weighs around 3 times more, because also I welded several holes into it, which I had to re-weld, and its surface looks more like a surface of the moon, but let's hope it will work. And regards it will work, I remembered some episode from my car issues. So basically I had a leaking radiator, and I called to the repair shop and said, hey, I need replacement. And they are saying, well, we have a good used radiator. I said, okay, fine. And what guarantees can you give for it? Well, we can guarantee it works. And I told them, mine works as well, it's just that it's leaking. And with thermostat housing in place, it was time to verify the cooling system in action. Okay, so the cooling system is filled with antifreeze. This repair thermostat housing is in place, and to my surprise I'm not getting any significant leaks, and overall it seems to be performing as expected. So let's see how it will do later, but for now all seems to be fine. And you can see I have some spare antifreeze as well. So, the progress of the day. New radiator is in place. Yes, I know it's doing things in a wrong way, but actually while the boat is not on water, it's the only way we can run the engine. So at least it's possible to make additional adjustments and see how it works. So yes, the cooling system at least is no more leaking. All the cooling system pipes are in place. Okay, what could be else needed is ventilator. It could be as well a temperature indicator. And what's next? Yeah, the fuel system of course is shut because of the fire, and so basically new lines have to be routed, so it was a little bit more demolition today in order to access the fuel tank, which I think is around 250 liters. It was also time to check if the water, or now rust-based, central heating system is holding any pressure before ordering new Eberspacher unit. And overall the test was successful, because we got more holes in the system after the test. And you can also see now we have a greenhouse on our boat. No plans to grow tomatoes or some less legal plants, but it should do fine against the seagulls with diarrhea, random flies, leaves and all sort of junk which tends to be attracted to your freshly painted surface. This control panel we found in a thrift shop, and originally it was used to control a school bell, but I think I will have a use for it in my boat, so this is why I brought it here. And let's see how it will turn out eventually. And so, here comes the main question for this episode. Is it a good idea to buy an old steel boat without a survey? Well, it all depends on the reasons you are buying it. For example, maybe you have too much money. Maybe you want to learn to swear in a possibly shortest time. Maybe you want to learn some new skills and crush your bones in the process, and that will also help you to swear better. Maybe you simply think your life is too boring. Or maybe you are just crazy. And also maybe you want to have some fun on the water by giving this boat to your unsuspecting friends for a ride and then looking from the shore.